All right, guys, just the person everybody wants to hear. Good buddy of mine. Occasionally.
Stop you there.
Occasionally.
Not a lot of people don't want to hear from me. I'm just saying.
Well, the two people sitting here at the table and all four people who listen to our show every week, they want to hear from you.
Perfect.
Mr. Bubba Peaches Wallace. First off, thanks for joining the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Why does Freddie Kraft call you Peaches?
So it stems from Booty Barker, our crew chief. Him and I, hey, you want to come to Sim at 7:30 in the morning? Not really.
No.
All right, you're such a peach. You're such a peach. You're a peach to work with. And then Freddie will smart off to him. He's like, you're a peach too, so he calls us Peaches.
That makes great sense. That makes great sense. Has post Nashville, you know, you were quite peachy there as well on the radio.
Yeah.
Is that all smooth in the hood? All good there?
Yeah, I think I've done better. It's the product of not keying up.
Yeah.
You know?
You just cuss without a button on.
Yeah. I have a hell of a conversation with myself.
But
no,
man,
things have been better than.
You've been running good.
Yeah.
What's the uptick due to?
Everybody taking a step back and looking at themselves and seeing how we could do better. And I could do better throughout the race, managing tempers, managing the race. Booty can do better, calling a better race. Pit crew can do a better job of pitting.
Keeping tires on it.
Keep tires on it. We had a lot of failures on pit road that cost us a lot of the speed. And I keep telling everybody, this is the same speed that we've had all year long.
Yeah.
But this is a product of execution now. We get the finishes. So, yeah, I think that's been the biggest factor is not taking ourselves out of the game.
Yeah, and it's showing, man.
How hard is that? Like Corey just has a pit crew swap this week. How hard is that to build chemistry with new guys every week? Not only for you, but for your road guys as well.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, some drivers are different, right? It's some are show up to the racetrack, get the job done, go home. Me, I am more of like a family guy. Like I want my guys to be, you know, a part of our everyday lives and talking about more than just race cars, whether that's building the race cars or pitting the race cars. It's more of a family matter. And so when you have those hardships, you know, and you have the blow ups and frustrations, it's more of, to me, like a family deal. Like,
like a Thanksgiving.
Well, when we come
arguing about politics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we show up again next week. But to the outside world, they're like, oh my God.
It's a story.
Oh my God.
But pre-COVID, like whenever we'd come to your house for birthday parties or whatever parties you have, Super Bowl, it was always 43 pit crew there.
Yep.
You were on the 43 car. They were.
Yeah, and they did a good job. I said going into the 23 deal, you know, the hardest thing was leaving that atmosphere, that vibe. Everybody just wraps your arms around you, right? And that was the toughest thing to leave, from the king all the way down to the last person on the team, whoever that was. And then that's the culture that I tried to bring to 2311, and it's forming great, and we're still working on everything, but they're starting to see like, okay, this is how Bubba operates. You know, we can be more of ourselves, not just like, oh, Bubba's in the room. The first meeting I had before heading down to Daytona, I told everybody, back then it was 23, 24 employees for the first year at 2311. And I said, hey, I don't want to walk in and you can hear a pin drop. Like, you know, bust my balls. Like, you know, give me if there's something going on. Like if I messed up, like that's how it's going to be, because I'm going to do the same to you.
Yeah.
And I don't expect your feelings to get hurt. You're not going to hurt my feelings, right?
Right.
There's only one person hurting my feelings, and it's myself. So,
yeah.
You know, or Amanda, she kind of says some cruel things. But
women can say some mean stuff, man. Especially they know
you
what
can't
hurts.
Say it back.
They know what hurts. Announced this week, multi-year extension over 2311.
Yep. Thank you.
Congratulations. Does that take a little bit of pressure off as you can look forward to the future and continue to build?
It does. Long-term, the long-term pressure, long-term, you know, mindset just got a little bit more clear.
Yeah.
And so that's nice. Appreciate all involved on that. MJ, Denny, Curtis, Steve, Gene, you know, we all worked hard. And then the people on my side, Rod, Kyle, of all, you know, getting the best out of it for both parties. And it's obviously been a great match for us, and some things that, you know, we need to work on for myself and the team needs to work on to get better. And we're all laying it out there. So it's good.
Did they write it like a Kyler Murray article? Did you see that?
I didn't see his.
They said it was a certain amount of film he had to watch a week, or like 4 or 5 hours. They eventually got that scrap, but
they tried, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, gave you the Jamarcus Russell, like the blank tape, see if you watch some Blitz film.
Yeah.
But, man, anytime I just race with you on Sunday afternoons, I just think about how far we've come from being little kids racing in the backyard of my dad's shop when we were 13, 14, 15 years old. So it's pretty cool to see you continue to do big things, and it's inevitably you're going to punch your ticket again into victory lane. You were one Talladega last year. Where's the next time you're going to get in victory lane?
Hopefully Daytona.
Hell no. Hope not.
Why?
Hope not.
Because they're going to be the ones out.
He could win the Glen this weekend.
But he ain't going to.
Yeah, that's right. Because we're going to win Daytona. Busher's going to win the Glen. Then we're both going to be like, but yeah, Daytona's probably our best opportunity. But with the speed we've had, man, Kansas is coming up. We were lights out fast at Kansas. Just couldn't get off pit road there. And so excited for that. But there's a lot of opportunities for us, especially if we keep this speed and the momentum that we've had. We should visit it a couple times.
What areas have you grown as a driver? Like actually physically making a car go fast?
The biggest thing is I talked about this, when you struggle and, I left 2014 from KBM, coming off 4 wins, was right. You're feeling good. You're feeling on top of the world. And then you go to Roush and it was off there. And it was like,
didn't you finish 6th like 19 times in a row or something?
Something like that. And they cut me.
It was a 6th-place car.
Yeah.
It was a 6th-place car.
Let's just call it what it is. Play those 6th.
But like the first year you're like, okay, the Xfinity series is tough. Like, all right. Then it's like, that's not this tough. Like, why are we running 15th?
Yeah.
That's what we show up and we're. So what I'm getting at, as long story short, is when you do that 1 year, 2 year, it's like you get into a habit of, I'm only good enough for 15th. You've lived it.
Oh yeah, I'm 7 years into it.
And it's like, oh, okay. So then you go into the 43 car, and it's not a top tier team at all, but we have small moments of success, small highlights of success throughout the year, but you're just kind of like, oh, okay, now I'm good enough for 20th, 25th. And it's like, oh, wow. So you get kind of used or accustomed to that and what the car feels and like, okay, I'm looking for this. So the next time you get a good car, a good opportunity, it's like, oh, I don't want to overstep it. I don't want to take that chance. And the biggest thing I looked at when we went to Michigan to test, I got on the plane and on the ride there, and I'm like, you know what? If I wreck lap 1, I don't care. Because I'm going to go out there and get all the speed out of it that I can. And if that's holding it wide open, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to barely, because the other kids that are coming up through, they're going to hold it wide open.
They also haven't stuffed in the fence very hard yet.
That's true. We know how hard it feels.
Hurts.
Yes. And so now I'm like pushing the car to the limits a little bit more, but it's kind of a controlled chaos, right?
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest factor. And then the other side of it is just managing races. It's like, oh man, first 20 laps, I fell to 15th. Damn it.
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't matter.
We talk about managing races. I texted you after Michigan. Thought you were a little bit too hard on yourself, but rightfully so. That's how you are. That's why you and myself have made it to the Sundays and get paid a decent amount of money to drive race cars, because we are hard on ourselves.
Yep.
Going back, if you had to do that restart when we left the studio today, what do you do different?
Push the 4 out there, get clear, and then just take his lunch money, because we were way faster than him.
Yeah.
Now it is Harvick.
Do you pick the top?
I pick the top.
Okay.
Yeah, pick the top and push him. It is Harvick, so he's got to win, and he's gonna make it.
He's pretty
hard
good too.
to pass.
He's got 60 of them.
No doubt. It would have been 58.
Yeah, it would have been 59 this weekend.
Yeah, it would have been 59. But yeah, I think replaying that. But then again, Larson lined up behind Harvick. Larson's pretty damn good, and old Logano shoved in there 3 wide, washed us all up the track. I could have been Larson in that scenario.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
do you think that's just from putting yourself in that position more of racing for a win? I mean, that's a product of doing it.
Hands down, like, the only time that I've come down to those moments are speedway racing, green, white checkers, on the front row. This was still 35 laps to go at that point. You never know when you're going to get another caution, but it ended up being the last restart, and you're like, damn it.
Yeah.
But everybody talked to, you would have went for the front row. It's right there. It's like you have that little sliver of hope. Like, okay, you watched the restart last year. Maybe Larson's going to push Harvick too good and up the track. And
yeah, you never know, dude.
It just didn't work out.
I've heard a lot of people talk about this, and I want to hear it from you. How much of an asset has Kurt Busch been as a teammate, and how has he helped you grow?
Yeah, Kurt's big on managing races, and it's really indirectly. Like, I look at moments where beginning of the race, he'll out qualify me, and then we'll kind of drive by him, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it's like a confidence thing. Like, we're the better car.
Wait till that pay window opens up.
Yeah. Pay window opens up. Here he comes.
Yeah.
He drives right back around, and it's like, man, I didn't think they were that good. And you talk to him in the debrief, it's like, yeah, we were, a 10th place car, but we finished second with it. And it's like, I got to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
And that's been the biggest thing, is basically letting the little fish go, catch big fish later, and just staying in it mentally. So learning that from him, and I see that from other guys too. Harvick's probably one of the best ones at it.
Yeah,
There's been multiple times we qualified next to each other this year, and I walk up to him and I'm like, we suck.
Yeah.
And we run each other hard, the first half of the race, and then I'm like, oh, where's the 4 car? Look on the pylon, top 5.
Yeah.
And we're still running back here where we are.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to do that.
What do you think that is?
Experience, knowledge, just
Pennies. All over the place.
Stacking them.
Yeah.
There's a reason that there's guys, trophy cases are stacked, and they got plenty of rings too.
Yep. No doubt. So it's impressive to watch, and you pick up on those little things.
You two have known each other, like you said, since you were little kids. You used to drive them to high school because you lived right down.
Gave me $20.
$20 for
On
2
here,
years
I was
worth of
looking at
driving.
That $20 couldn't go one way nowadays. Damn.
Money's
money.
tight.
Corey had the Nintendo 64 in the back of the Bonneville
the
before
Bonnie.
TVs were even a thing.
I plugged that one up against a tree too.
Yeah.
30 feet in the air.
I know.
Did some plugging all right.
Anyways,
speaking of that, 2012 Can-Am race at Dover.
that was probably the maddest you've been. Besides when I wrecked
Next
you at
day,
Phoenix. Were you mad?
Or Phoenix. Where were you more mad at? Or Phoenix last year? Which one were you more mad about?
Definitely Dover.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, it's so awkward.
You didn't talk to me for 3 months after Phoenix.
That shit.
we get to Daytona. I'm like, hey, man, I've been texting you once a week for 3 months. No, that's all, man. My phone didn't work.
I was
the best
golfing.
part is he called me. He was standing outside the plane at Phoenix calling me, and I was sitting on the plane looking out the window. Just ignore.
You never told me that. Here I am, like,
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here like,
Should have knocked on the window and gave him the finger.
yeah. But yeah, Dover, like then.
See, you weren't even like, I didn't even wreck you there.
What?
That's
no,
what
y'all pulled some bull move.
Wait a minute, I paid off Brandon Godot.
Hey, so yeah, Corey put Brandon McReynolds in the fence, and it ripped your bumper cover loose.
Yeah.
And under caution, you were second.
I was second.
Corey was the leader after he planted Brandon in the fence, and we talked Brandon Godovic into they were going to black flag us.
Brandon Godovic was lucky dog, and
Yes.
I like was nice to him all year long, waiting for this moment, and I kind of blocked him to not let him pass me for the lucky dog, and I was pointing out the window like, hey. And the bumper cover was attached with like 2 pop rivets, and he took like 2 swipes at it, and he knocked it off, and they rescinded the black flag and put her in the wind, dog.
That was.
Dude, you were mad.
Then we had a little Bible study we were doing on like Tuesdays or Mondays at the shop. So the next day I had that
the monster just
trophy
sitting there
on the trophy.
I was so mad.
Well, it was you and Brandon was there too. Both of you guys were pissed off.
No, that was. Well, and I was coming off like I had just won that race last year too, right? And we're like, oh man, this is a good opportunity. And we're just like, you're sitting here watching, like, what are they doing? Like, this isn't right. Penalize them. Meanwhile, I should have just drove up beside Godovic and just stop.
Nope, can't do that.
That's a nice trophy I got, man. Don't take it away from me. I don't get many of those things anymore. What, man, like I said, you've been in this thing a while, and you said you've been through the ups and downs. The stacking pennies doesn't come from the money necessarily. It comes from like the mental victories that you continue to motivate yourself. What are those things you're going to do over the next 3 to 5 to 10 years as a driver to get you where you want to go?
I'm big on just we get into a rhythm and you just keep it going, and people are like, hey, we should try this. No, don't come in here messing up my vibe. Whatever's working is working. When we go to these speedway races, how do you get around there? We just
floor
survive.
it, man.
Freddie, let's do our deal.
Yeah.
Hey, if somebody's gonna ask him, well, hey, what's y'all's deal? He's gonna be like, I don't know. We just do it.
Yeah.
Just push to 12.
Yeah.
Just help us.
Right into the fence.
Deuces.
But I think it's just not overdoing it. You could always, when you try too hard, that's one of the things you do. Like, look at Gregson, what he's trying to do in the 16 when he climbs in that thing. He's overdriving. He's overdoing it. It's like,
yeah, settle in.
Calm down. You're fine. You might lose a couple spots, but it's the best of the best guys.
Yeah.
Like, don't overdo it. And I finally got to that point where it's like, quit trying so hard and manage and try hard when it matters.
Yeah, that's right. No doubt. Have you learned anything from MJ? Have you guys had any very intimate conversations just about how to attack your craft?
No, I'm not the person to, obviously he's the ultimate competitor.
Mm-hmm.
And have
you golfed with him yet?
No, he's a golf snob. The first thing.
You're not good enough?
Basically. First time
You're
I met him.
You're not rich enough, too? He also knows how much he pays you?
Yes. The first time I met him at Daytona, we were sitting at his bus. His bus is on the backstretch. You remember where?
He got parts
Snyder,
of the car.
We were all sitting there.
Dude.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Imagine if MJ went with a rod out the forehead. That'd have been a hell of a way to go.
That'd have been nuts. But he said, he said, "Hey man, heard you suck at golf," and just kept on smoking a cigar. And I was like, "All right, guess I'm not playing with you." He said, "Waltrip told me you suck at golf."
My favorite is when he walks down pit road like this weekend.
Hey, you're gonna see this cord, by the way, because this thing keeps pulling.
Stephen Price? Stephen Price.
No, that's wrong. He kept doing it. Yeah.
Front change or rear change on the 6. This weekend, MJ's walking down pit road. He goes, "Hey MJ, I still play ball." And Jordan's like,
"Cool.
How often? 3 times a week." "All right, man." like what? Like, people just want to talk to him when he walks down pit road. And okay.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't imagine being that recognizable. Like, nobody probably leaves that guy alone.
Yeah, but he has enough people around where you can't get to him.
Is there added pressure when he comes to the racetrack at all?
No, not for me. No. It's obviously really cool having him there. And to see how invested he is, like, mentally. Like, he sat on top of my box the whole race.
Yeah.
And a lot of the crew guys were like, "Oh man, I thought he would stick around for 20 laps and go up to the suite." It's like, no, he loves it. He's invested 100%.
You think it adds any pressure to them when he's on top of the box?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Possibly,
I don't see how
boss.
It wouldn't.
Yeah. Big boss is there.
For sure.
I know I feel different when Roger Penske's sitting up there. But it's also like, all right, hey, watch this.
Yeah.
I'll get a couple for you.
Yeah, and then you trip and fall and get run over.
Not me, man.
Well, talk about the other boss, Denny. Certainly outspoken about his plans, where he wants to take 2311. Obviously, went out and got Tyler Reddick, signed him a year and a half early.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts about having Tyler Reddick as a teammate in the future? Obviously, we all hope Kurt comes back as healthy and quick as possible, but still an unknown who's driving the 45 next year. What are some of the things behind closed doors on the direction that really makes you excited about being a part of that team?
Just how hungry they are to be the best team. Like, look at what Trackhouse is doing. I'm pretty sure Denny ain't happy about it. Mm-hmm. One of the new teams coming in and setting a blaze, and we want to be like that. And we have a lot to clean up on our end to get there, but on some weeks we're faster than those guys. But he's setting ourselves up for long-term success, and that's the most important thing. You don't put all your pennies in one stack. You kind of spread them out to get the longevity of it. And so having Tyler come over, obviously we know he's quick. Everywhere we go, he's fast in one of the cars. So it'll be fun to push each other when we get to that. And I mean, mentally push each other.
Yeah, competitively too.
Right? Because there's going to be some tracks where he's going to kick my ass, but then I hope I can, vice versa. And then we sit down and figure out, like, oh, okay, this is what he's doing to be better. Thing called SMT.
Yeah, well, that too, you can look at that to your retinas burn out of your skull.
Yeah.
But you talk about getting better and stuff to look at in terms of simulators and SMT and stuff like that. That's been one big improvement I've noticed out of you, because you are a self-admitted atrocious road course racer.
Yep.
Myself included.
Yep.
But now it seems like you have put the work in and have ran simulators, and you are you're competitive on the road courses now. So what do you do on a week like this week leading up to Watkins Glen?
Yeah, we'll go to the sim at 7:30 in the morning. And on Wednesdays, and Booty, first time he went, he was like, "Man, you're
Especially in the morning, man. You haven't got that McMuffin.
I don't even
say
anything. That's the thing. I walk in, I'm like, hello, and I go and drive.
I don't know if you know this or not, but you pretty much tell how you feel by looking at you from about 10 feet away.
Especially when it's 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just tired. I don't want to talk to anybody. That's it. And so now we've gotten to a spot. But putting in the time on the sim has helped for sure. But then it goes back to trusting the car.
Yeah.
Like
confidence. Yeah.
Oh, it's not going to step out here.
Yeah.
Drive through it.
Yeah.
Stop being so scared.
Yeah.
You know, and stop trying to, like, road course, you just got to, like, wheel the thing, right?
Drive the piss out of it.
There's no finessing. It's not like a mile and a half where it's like, ooh, let me ease in here. No, it's hard in, hard on the brakes.
Big wheel crank.
And let that thing hit the curbs and fly. Because that's where it's speed. It's like, I'm like, ooh, that feels fast.
Right.
And they're just blowing by you. It's like, oh, okay.
Who do you think you've looked at the most with your road course stuff to try to emulate? Danny or nobody? Just try to get better yourself?
Just trying to get better at myself, yeah.
Do you think you can beat Kimmy Räikkönen this weekend?
I am excited to see how that's going to work out.
Dude, me too.
I thought about that this morning on the course, and I was like, man, I'm pumped to race against him. I hope I don't junk his ass.
Bro, the track house cars have been so fast at road courses. So.
He's not going to be at Daytona next week, so it don't matter.
That is true. That is true.
And you can tell your grandkids, hey, I wrecked the F1 world champion.
Just think about, those guys rarely ever hit. They'll swipe.
Bro, the first time he gets doored, he's going to be like, what in the hell did I sign up for?
And then we're going to do it as he's thinking that, he's going to get doored again.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Welcome to last restart at Indy. The guy from 20th drives the 5th.
Yeah. Like Kyle Busch said, you can't really go 5 wide into turn 1, but watch us try.
Oh, we're going to. Yeah. By God.
Logano is going to be the first one. Logano and Byron.
And if it's not him, it's gonna be me. Like if there's a lane there, you just jam it in there. Yeah, that's just what it is.
See, I'm like, I'm gonna stay there, and then Freddie goes from 2 wide, 3, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6.
Good luck. Yeah. Well, 2 questions we always ask our guests, man. I love having you on and breaking it down. But if you had, first off, what's your most embarrassed you've ever been at the racetrack?
Most embarrassed?
Like when you want to tuck your tail between your legs and go home.
Yeah, that was probably every road course. Man, I swear I just thought of this randomly, like last week. Most embarrassed I've ever been. Probably having the fastest car at Nashville this year, and MJ's on the grid for qualifying, and you sail that thing in there all the way up to the fence. P30.
Oh no! Oh yeah, that's the worst.
That's probably like that's the thing that comes to my mind first. But I'm sure there's something bigger than that. But yeah, fastest car by a mile.
Yeah, because like whenever you don't see MJ after qualifying, you're like, oh no.
Definitely not getting invited to golf this week.
Well, there's one more, but I'm gonna ask another one, and you're gonna give me a good one. So I couldn't quite phrase the question to other people for them to get it, but it's like, do you ever have like a racing dream? For example, I would wake up in a cold sweat feeling like I can't get out of the lounge, like they're rolling off for practice or the race, and I'm stuck in the lounge, like can't physically get the door open. You ever have any of those
One
dreams?
night this motherfucker woke up yelling at Mamba. Mamba,
oh my
get your ass to work.
Get your ass to work, because Mamba and I went to go work it up. I went to IRP, and I was working on Chase Briscoe's ARCA car's first race, and it was just me and Mamba essentially at the racetrack. I was crew chiefing it, he was car chiefing it essentially.
Yeah.
And we were thrashing, pushing it through tech, and I had this dream a couple nights later that there's a stack of tires falling on me, and I dodged out of the way, and in my dream I was looking at Mamba. And I was like, Mamba, get your ass back to work. And Kelly's like, what the hell are you talking about? Just yelling at Mamba. So that's one of my racing dreams. So you've never had a dream?
I've never had something where I've like panicked and like missed something or.
Do you have a dream about winning a race or anything?
I do. I have dreams about winning a race. Like I have that pretty often, and it's just like, oh man, this is an awesome feeling. And then you get out and you're cheering and everything, and it's like, what's that sharp pain in my stomach? Oh, yeah, I got to piss. So and then you look at the clock. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Dang it. Dang it. All right, last question. If you had to pick one race car and one race track to race at the rest of your life, what do you go with?
One race car.
Could be F1 car.
Man, I'd love to take my chances at Michigan in that 23 car again.
Dude, that thing. Yeah.
Just weekly show.
Yeah, lining back
Track
up.
champion.
Dude, that thing was stout.
Yeah.
That's what you're going with? Next gen Cup car, Michigan.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like
I would love to do. So I always said I wouldn't race like open wheel stuff. Like, no thanks. Especially not on ovals.
Yeah.
But damn sure not on road courses. Looking at my resume, but I would love to do a car swap with an F1 car and just go out there and make laps just to see.
Where would you want to do that at?
The most laps that I've turned on an F1 game is probably Australia. So I'd like to do that.
Call Daniel Ricciardo.
Right there.
Danny Rick.
He's probably going to be looking for a job. He might come over and do Project 91 next year.
77.
Come on with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a fun driver lineup. Might not
hell of a
run worth of We'd have some
pay
fun.
difference.
No doubt. All right, buddy. I appreciate you jumping
Yes,
on
sir.
Stacking Pennies with us. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Congrats on the new deal.
Super.
Everybody, that's Bubba Wallace for you right here
Later.
on Stacking Pennies.